Hello viewers and welcome to Grand Oak in the Astra. Now in this race we're facing a quite unusual predicament. It is raining, but it's not raining enough. As you can see, I have chosen the wet tyres, and just coming off the line alone they are cooking up. But I do think it's too wet to have medium tyres put on. So what is the best course of action here as we make up a few places going into our second corner? Come round the outside, we're now in position 3, going a little bit wide and then cutting back in. Lucky enough we kept position 3, so we've gained a good few places in 1 and 2 corners alone. You can hear the tyres absolutely screaming for dear life as the track surface is too dry, but the raindrops are coming down, so it's in a weird situation. What tyres would have you chosen? Let me know down in the comments below. Would you have chosen the medium tyres or would you have chosen the wet tyres like I have? Having a great exit from that corner, seeing the cars dropping back behind us. We need to try and catch up to position 2 in the Hyundai and hopefully try and overtake them. Braking early into this corner down to 3rd gear, tucking ourselves in and accelerating out the other side. Coming around this latter half of the corner, looking about 75 miles per hour, coming around till you see the hut on our left. And then I start applying power coming to the outside of the track, and then full throttle by the time we get to the outside, and then absolutely sending it down the straight, clipping that curve on the left hand side, and then coming over the start and finish line for the start of lap 2. Nobody is choosing to go into the pits, and everybody did choose wet tyres, so I'll presume they're all hoping, like myself, that it's going to rain a little bit more and the wet tyre was the right choice. Either that or the last lap is going to get very interesting when all our tyres are absolutely drained of all their life, is the best way of putting it. Coming around this corner now, we are gaining on the 2 cars up in front, so I just got to keep applying this kind of pressure. I do have to be mindful though, we are on a short race and I don't think even if I did pit I would be at such a disadvantage. I'll never be able to make the time back. So it's really not worth pitting unless everybody else does follow suit. The thing is, if you choose not to pit, you're going to destroy your tyres. If you choose to pit, you destroy your time and everybody overtakes you. So I don't know where the best idea is. Braking down here now into 3rd gear, out braking the Hyundai, and the Hyundai goes sliding off and just survives it on the track, but ultimately loses position 2 and is now down to 4th. Luckily enough, I do have an Audi behind me and a Link up in front. The Link is 1 second away. That is not good because the Audi behind is 0.6 seconds away, so they're going to be in my slipstream and I'm not going to be having any gains in the car in front because I'm not in the car's slipstream up in front. So it's going to be real brute force of the Astra to try and keep off the Hyundai. They have made a 0.2 second lead upon me, so I'm really just trying to keep them at bay as I go into the mud and not really concentrating on where I'm going, more on the position of the Audi behind. Silly little mistakes like that has costed me more time, but you can see I have also gained a 0.2 second lead there. But we're coming down another straight now. The Audi's going to be start sniffing up behind me. The Link up in front has gained also time from me, so I need to really start focusing in, putting the pressure down and try my best to conserve the tyres whilst also giving a decent lap time to try and catch up to the car in front. Coming over to our left hand side, looking out for when the curve starts. There it is, down with the brakes, down to 3rd gear, coasting it round this corner and accelerating out, going up to about 75 miles per hour as we enter the corner, looking out for the blue hut on our left hand side and applying full throttle out of the corner to the outer part of the track, and then absolutely nailing it over this next corner and over to start and finish line we go. The car in position 1 has a 1.6 second lead, so they are pushing that car, and I'm 99% sure they're on wet tyres as well, as the car up behind me tries to make a move and ultimately backs out, putting me off my game here because I'm concentrating on what the car behind is doing, and they massively gain on that position. Not a problem, because the way I see it is that Audi being up in front, Audi being the quicker car, If they can keep pushing, that means they're going to get me closer to the link up in front. Coming up to the start of lap 6, my tyres are absolutely destroyed. The Hyundai went off into the pits, so I have no idea where their position is right now, because you're looking about 30 to 40 seconds in the pits from start to finish, so that is a lot of time to lose on a race as short as this one. Coming up the inside of the Hyundai up in Audi in front of me, sorry. Braking down to second gear, trying to take our time through here really. You can see the Audi's tyres are absolutely wrecked, just like my tyres, so I'm making a move on the inside here, accelerating out of the corner to the outer part on the right side of the track. The Audi is going to be quicker through this section than I am, because they have the faster car, and ultimately go up the inside here. Give me a little nudge to the right as I was tucking myself in. Bit clumsy, both of us going through this corner now, both on absolutely destroyed tyres, and both unsure on where to go. So I'm going to try and see if I can start sniffing around the Audi here. We'll be braking a little bit earlier now, braking down to third gear. So you see the Audi goes well off track, tyres are absolutely goose, and braking early was the right choice, as I don't think I could see any. There's a tiniest bit of colour on my front tyres right now. Coming around this corner, I was unable to catch up to P1. They are still 3.4 seconds away up in front. I can only presume their tyres are just as goosed as our tyres, because they were pushing much harder than I was. But we crossed the finish line in position 2. Absolutely brilliant race, and actually quite a good win for the Astra overall. But the wins do not stop coming as we head over to Lime Rock Park in a moment. But at first, I would like to thank our channel members, which is Andy Good, Jeffrey Anderson, DMC Motorsport, and Phoenix Asta. Thank you very much, guys. On to Lime Rock Park. I did not qualify for this race, so we're starting off in position 5. It really wasn't a big lobby, to be fair. There really wasn't many of us here, but the people that were here were pretty much in Audis. So yeah, and we have one MG up in front. I'm not too sure what the silver car is behind me. I do see a Peugeot, and yeah, the rest are Audis as I take off another Audi. Thankfully though, I didn't get a penalty for this one. Usually for a situation like that, you can get yourself a nice old big fat 4-second penalty. Nothing was given at that moment, although there was already 90 degrees perpendicular to the track. I thought a bit of an assistance there was kindly needed. Anyway, coming to the end of our first lap, we are now in position 4. Just need to take over Nemesis AE86 up in front, who does have an MG. And there is 2 Audis leading the pack after that. Coming up right behind the MG up in front, tried to make a move, but they was also making a move on the Audi. So we sort of worked together. Now I'm going to keep to the right hand side, breaking that 200 meter board down to third gear, clipping that curb on the right hand side, and ultimately backing out from that car up in front. I don't want any collisions happening that could easily be avoided. I can overtake them again later on down the line. Audi behind gets tucked up behind me, because this part of the track, it's a weird way to overtake. Sometimes you can get a space or make a space, but 9 times out of 10 it is very difficult to overtake. Now this corner is quite easy to overtake on, as cars go wide. You can send up the inside and have the inside line on the next corner, but the MG does retain that position due to having a little bit more power than this Disaster, I call it. I like calling it Disaster. If you like calling it a Disaster, hit that like button. Or if you can think of any better names for this car that has Astra in it, let me know down below. Coming up to the 200 meter marker, braking down the third gear, turning in, Audi sniffing right up behind me, but I do not break face and I keep my muscles strong. I have no idea what any of that means. Anyway, breaking down to the third gear, coming around this corner, really tucking up behind the MG up in front, who is purposely being slow to try and have me and the Audi behind have a bit more of a battle. But I will not lose face. I'm going to keep pushing. I want to take that position 2 away from the MG up in front. As me and the MG are fighting a little bit, the position 1 soft waffles up in front, who is an Audi, is creeping away. That's something I do not want, so I'm going to come down this corner and absolutely send this car, have the inside line, and yeah, that was the idea. It didn't pan out that well, having Audi to my right hand side, Gonna brake early into this corner. They take that position back. I'm gonna try and see if I can do switcheroo, but it's not happening. I've lost that position. The MG up in front has managed to make the situation work against me. Okay. The Audi Ninja Hawk, yeah, however you pronounce that, is trying to make a move on Nemesis up in front. They do make that move work, send it through. I'm going to try and see if I can follow through. I just don't have the power in this car. I need a good 10 or 15 more horses in there, and I think I can make this work. So the way to get this car is either in the cornering or in the in the cornering. That's all I've got. So we make it work this time around. Send it up behind them, take over the right hand side, braking at a 200-meter board, having the inside line of this corner, forcing them to slow down, and that's that position gain. Now I just got to overtake Ninja Hawk up in front. Oh, well, we gained that position away from Nemesis that was trying to make me and the Audi fight somewhat, and I can't really grumble at that. Going a little bit wide on the exit of that corner. Hopefully not get a penalty. Thank you, Forza Stewards. You're on my side today. Nemesis was trying to make a move right there. Ultimately, I closed that door. You're not coming through, buddy. I'm going to try and send it up behind this Audi. Over the curb we go. Take it as tight as we can. Trying to keep as much momentum going as we can. Down to the fourth gear. Letting off the throttle a little bit. Curb on the right side. Accelerating early. And absolutely sending it down here whilst he ghosts himself out. Interesting. I wonder what happened there. That's the position gain I didn't need to overtake on. Okay, Soft Waffles up in front is 5.2 seconds away, which is quite the gap. Nemesis comes through that corner a little bit sloppy, taking it quite wide, and the Mercedes behind him was looking for that position. So now my move is to keep the power down, keep the hammer on, and try and get away from the MG behind and let the MG and Mercedes battle each other out while I try and catch up the Soft Waffles up in front. Diving it down to the third gear, trying to get better rotation of the car, doing 100 miles per hour up that slip. Over the curb we go, accelerating out the other side, really maximising these track limits. Coming round this corner, half throttle, going round over the curb we go, and then full throttle down the straight. You can see the lead we've got from the cars behind, 1.4 seconds. Absolute blast. Braking at a 200-meter marker, down to third gear, coasting it round this corner, and coming out a little bit, and then coming back in. Lucky enough, Soft Waffles went off track. Now, I'm going to see if I can make that move. We had that move. There we go. That is a position gained from the great livery of, by the looks of it, it's Rick and Morty on that car. Absolutely smashing livery right there. So I can't really grumble at that. I do enjoy seeing it in my rearview mirror. Not so close though, not so close. Coming around here, we have 2 laps to try and fend off the Audi behind us. Coming around here, dabbing the brakes into third gear, trying to clip that curb and trying to really maximise the rotation of the car. Coming downhill, letting off the throttle a little bit, over the curb we go, trying to maximise the track width as much as we can and try and keep the momentum going. We do have a 1 second lead from the car behind, but our tyres are now starting to show their age. The front left-hand tyres on minor wear, and we still have 2 laps of this to go. Oh, have I been pushing this car too hard? I don't know. I mean, if I chose hard tyres, I would have obviously lasted out the whole race, but then I would have been slower throughout the whole race as well. As Soft Waffles manages to claim back the time that I've gained from them. Going around here in fourth gear, diving it down to third gear, about 95 to 100 miles per hour up the hill we go, and keeping to our left hand side. The car that ghosted, that was in position 2, is still ghosted now. I wonder if it was that moment when in the middle of a race and suddenly you have to pee. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. You cannot deny it. Mid-race, and you can't do it midstream. Braking at the 200-meter board, down to third gear. I do have the Audi breathing all over me. Can I hold them off for one more lap? It's going to be a tough order. They're looking up the inside. I'm closing that door, defending this corner as much as I can. But I'm so slow because my tyres are on now moderate wear on the front left-hand side. Collision has been made as they're pushing me, telling me to get out of their way. They're going to have that move done. I'm braking here, 95 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, trying to make that move, but ultimately they have the power. Didn't close the door fast enough there, and they come through on the inside of the next corner. Ah, no, so close, so close. Could have had it, but I destroyed my tires. Oh dear me. Anyway, good race, thank you very much, sir. It was an absolute blast of a race. Position 2 gained from position 5 at the start of the race. So close, yet just a few tenths off. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Oh well. And because I'm a sucker for punishment, I went back to Lime Rock Park at night time, qualified, got position 2. Absolutely great qualifying lap. And to be fair, I didn't really have much time. I had about like just over a minute, and I know damn well I could do this lap in less than a minute, so I literally sent it round on medium tyres to see if I can gain that position. Anyway, we have clawed into P1, then we lost it again to Barry the dog as they had the inside line of the corner. Contact is made to the car on the right hand side, who was looking for that position as well, but it is not happening. Coming around these corners now in 3rd gear, over the curves we go, trying to maximize the track limits as we see the Audi pulling away from us, and we're also pulling away from the cars behind. Coming around this corner, 3rd gear, 95 miles per hour, could have gone through a little bit faster through there. Up the hill we go, looking on our left hand side, and swing it over the curb on the right, and then coming to the outer curb on the left hand side, flat out down this hill, reducing the throttle as we come around this corner over the curb, and a full throttle as we let off the curb and try and really maximize the track width as we come over the start of lap 2. Catching up to Barry the dog, thankfully to slipstream, breaking that 200 meter board down the 3rd gear. You can see a little bit of unsureness from me and Barry the dog up in front as coming around this first corner for our 2nd time. Coming around now like about 75, 70 miles per hour over the curb. Bring it back over to the right hand side, over the curb we go, and back onto the left hand curb. Could have gone through that section much quicker there, but I was unsure on what Barry the dog was planning to do in the corner, as it did seem also slow through that section. I'd rather not have any contact being made the way the Forza penalty system is at the moment. Coming down the hill we are, letting off the throttle a little bit, over the curb on the right hand side, missed it by an absolute mile, and then sending it down the straight. Barry the dog is getting away. Cannot be having this, but surprisingly enough, though, position 3 is almost 2 seconds away from us right now as we come and start our 3rd lap. I'll go through this first corner a little bit too slow. Going round on the outside, much better, gaining on our best lap again. Going round this corner over the curb, keep it to our left hand side and swing it back over to the right, over the curves we go, accelerating out of the corner, making a little bit of ground on Barry the dog right now, half a second up on our best. Going down the 3rd gear, could have gone through again a little bit quicker. There we are, 97 miles per hour. About a sweet spot to take it, because when you go over the 95 miles per hour marker, you are, to an essence, starting to break the limit a little bit, well, what the car is capable of doing. It is possible to do, but you do run a risk of tire wear and the way things are. Sometimes if you just don't have the wheel at 92 degrees, but you have it at 91 degrees, it will go off track. But it is worth the chance sometimes, because you can massively claw back a good bit of time. Anyway, whilst I'm rambling on about absolute waffle, still gaining our time by 0.006 seconds, which is absolutely brilliant. Catching the Barry the dog now, going around this twisty part of the section of the track, which is very technical. You got to hold your speed up through there, and lost 2 tenths on the exit of that corner. Breaking down the 3rd gear, up the hill we go. Again, a little bit faster upon entry would suit this car much better. Round this corner, rubbing that curb on the right hand side, coming to the left hand curb, down the hill we go, turning in over the curb on the right hand side and bringing it over to the curb on the left hand side, and hopefully with a bit of slipstream we can catch up to Barry the dog. We're now over 2 seconds away from P3 right now. Barry the dog is 0.5 seconds away as we're breaking into our first corner, 3rd gear. Over the curb I go, and then bringing it back over on the right hand side. Barry the dog has gained a few temps here. Not good enough, Flash, not good enough. You can do better than this. Coming around these corners now, over the curves we go, maximising the track limits as much as we can. I've got to try and catch this green devil back up. They are holding us back, and I'm holding myself up here. I know I can do better than that. Going a bit sloppy because I'm overthinking the situation rather than taking a breath, looking at my poor actions and going, you could do better. I'm overthinking. I'm thinking I turn earlier, I turn harder, I accelerate earlier, I accelerate later, things like that, and it's just costing me silly little attempts like it is right now. As you saw from the lap before, I am much faster around this track than a 53.919. Especially through that first corner. I know I'm going way too slow through that first corner if I'm going up that curb on the right hand side. Position 3 has gained a second. Where on earth did they find that second? They're 1 second behind us right now as I'm losing time to the car up in front. Okay. Deep breath. Let's reassess the situation. Coming round here in third gear, up the hill we go much quicker. Look at that. 97 as we peak to the top of the hill. Keeping on our left hand side. Coming over, rub that curb on the right. Bounce it over onto the left. Down the hill we go. Over the curb on the right. Keeping to our left hand side. Ooh, into the mud we go. But lucky enough we gained a good 0.5 seconds on the car behind. And position 1 is only 2.1 seconds away. As we go around this corner again, shouldn't be rubbing that curb on the right. It should be on the grass, on the tarmac, sorry, not on the grass. That's the place you don't want to be. And really making our time much more efficient on the track. Anyway, through the S is much better as we went through there. Look at that. 0.001 up on my best right now. Going around this corner, you see 95 miles per hour with 97 as we touch the top of the hill, and we're now gaining away from position 3 again. Much better now, much better. Tyres are starting to wear as we come around our last corner, the start of lap 8. Surprisingly, they're not on minor wear just yet, so I have a little bit of life in these left. Going down here, looking out for a 200 meter board, braking down in third gear, coasting it around this corner, and then to the outer part of the track, then coming back in on the right hand side, going over onto your right, and then diving in on your left, looking about 70 miles per hour through this section. Minor wear has just peaked on the front left hand side tyre. So we have one more lap after this to go with tyres that are starting to wear. It won't be just my tyres that are wearing, it'll be everybody else's as well, but I do believe the Astra can be quite hard on tyres. I'm not too sure what the Audi's like on tyres, whether it'd be better in this situation than my car. I've not driven the Audi yet, and I do try and keep away from it as much as I can. Anyway, coming out to the outer part of the track, much better exit right there, and we have both the tyres on minor wear as we start our final lap. Coming down there, looking for a 200 meter board, down to third gear, coasting around this corner. That is a much better line than was previously. Catching up to position 1, Barry the Dog, who's now 1.5 seconds away. Not too sure what has happened there, unless their tyres are absolutely shredded. I do hope. That'd be nice to catch up with it right now on the last lap. Made that move work. But I don't think it is meant to be. We're now 1.2 seconds away. 5 seconds away from position 3 and 13 seconds away from position 4. Wow, that is quite a lead right there. Not grumbling though, not grumbling. Can't really grumble at things like that. Looking around here, 1 second away, come on. Can you send it down here? Moderate wear in the front left hand tyre right now. Around this corner, going a little bit wide, a little bit slow. Ooh, could have got off track there, that was a bit close. It was not meant to be. Position 2, can't grumble, I'm on the podium, got a great finish. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time. Goodbye.